So my name is Alison Smart Fisher, and I'm a professional singer, singing teacher, and choral director. My instruments are voice and piano, and obviously as a conductor, I use my hands, and so gesture is my third instrument. And I'm working in the classical genre, but I have dabbled with bits of jazz, and I've sung opera and done film tracks and things like that. So I'm trained first as a linguist. I studied classics at university, and while I was there, I was singing in a chapel choir, and I'd already sung in a church choir all my childhood, and I really loved that kind of music. And I realized that I could develop my style and develop my voice as well. And so I did some professional work as an early music choral singer, and then I went to music college to study singing as a postgraduate. And I went to the Royal Northern College of Music in Manchester, and then I went to Trinity College of Music when it was in Marylebone, and that was obviously a few years ago. So I was very inspired by Teresa Cahill. I was doing a competition in Tunbridge Wells, and she was one of the judges, and she came up to me afterwards and said that she really believed me when I'd been singing my songs. She really believed me, but she felt that she could help me with some more technique, and asked if I would like to study with her. And I thought that was a wonderful opportunity. And so I had some lessons with her, and then I went to the Royal Northern and I studied with her there for 2 years. And she was also teaching at Trinity College, so I had another year with her there. So I was really influenced by her and very inspired by her. Yeah. So yeah, I was in the BBC Singers for 22 years, and I was one of the first BBC singers to do a job share. So after 7 years, the opportunity came to share a job with another soprano, and I nearly said no, because the other soprano was my best friend at work. And I thought, what happens if I never see my best friend at work? But it was very much the right thing for the two of us to share the job. And on a very small number of occasions, we carried on singing together, but we managed to juggle life, and I had a family and she had a business to run. So it worked very well. Yeah. So if you're very good at sight reading and you've got a very good ear and you like singing in a group with other people, then it's worth thinking about professional choral career, because there are very many really good opportunities for choral singers. And you have to be willing to get up very early in the morning and go on a flight somewhere, and what I call a dawn raid. And you arrive somewhere and you have lunch and you do a rehearsal and then you do a concert, and then the next morning you get up at 4 o'clock and fly home. So that's the life of a choral singer, or it used to be before Brexit. Nowadays, I think there's more choral singing in the UK for professionals, which is very nice. And when I auditioned for the BBC Singers, it was in response to a general call for what they call ad hoc singers. So these are extras who come in when the staff singers are indisposed, either ill or have to take time out or whatever. So you might get a call half an hour before you're due. And that's why it's very handy to live close by if you can be there on time. And basically you jump in and you sight read stacks and stacks of music, and I had a wonderful time. And then I auditioned for a full-time role there. So 47 weeks of the year, 5 days a week. And when we first started, it was maybe one program per week. But by the time I finished in the BBC Singers, which was in 2017, we were doing maybe 3 programs a week. So it was very, very demanding and a really exciting way to make music. Well, people are always giving advice, aren't they? I'm very wary of giving advice because I think everybody should follow their own dreams and follow their own path. And particularly with your voice, it's very important to make sure that your voice is working optimally for you. And nobody else can really tell you how it feels to be comfortable in your voice. And I do believe that also as a singer and as a singing teacher. that the one person that really knows everything is the owner of that voice. However, we can advise, and the advice is really to keep the voice as fresh as possible. And it's quite difficult sometimes when you're on tour, if there isn't anywhere to practice, or you're worried about singing in your hotel room. It's quite hard. That's quite hard. And it takes a toll on the body, traveling a lot. And so keeping fit and keeping the mind happy is very important. So I think the music sector is a fast-paced business, and my wish is for people to be really well educated, for people to be really well educated on entry to the profession, so that they have a good chance to be able to keep up. And by that I mean a really good chance to study music at school. And one of the things that ISM is doing is campaigning really hard for music provision in all types of school. And we need that. Children and young people need music just as adults do for enjoyment, but they also benefit so much with literacy and numeracy development from the brain function and the neurological patterns that we use in music. And I really believe in that. And that's one of my reasons for supporting ISM. So I really enjoy working with composers. And one composer who approached me a few years ago was the pianist Cilia Petridou, who's a Greek Cypriot living in Hertfordshire. And she discovered me by trying out lots of singers, and she took her music to see people, and she asked me to play and sing her music, and it was in modern Greek. And I was the first person who could play and sing at sight and read the Greek, and it was a marriage made in heaven. So I performed her songs, we've recorded them all, and there are chamber works and there's a big choral work. So I directed all that, and I chose all the other performers. And so I was the overall artistic director of that project, which is very satisfying and very beautiful. And you can hear some of those pieces on Spotify. Membership of the ISM is really precious to me. It's a fully professional body, so the quality there is really assured. And the people who work for ISM are professionals in their own right. So if I need help with legal advice on a contract, or if I want to attend any professional development courses, I know that they're going to be good. And I can honestly say that the best professional development course I ever went on was an early safeguarding course with the ISM. And that was really important for me as a teacher, really understanding the concept of safeguarding and the reasons why it's important. So I'd really commend to everybody watching this video the professional development side of ISM.